We talk about these weak-kneed Republicans. I'm referring to Susan Collins and Lisa Murkowski, who have come out and said, hey, you know, we need to backhandedly say that we need to protect Roe versus Wade, or at least respect precedent. That's what these Republicans are saying. So in Kavanaugh and this nomination, is he confirmable when you consider Murkowski and Collins?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. In fact, if you look at all of the circuit court nominees that have been confirmed, these are the individuals confirmed to the courts of appeal since Trump became president. Both Murkowski and Collins have voted to confirm all of those judges, and all of those judges aren't any more conservative than Brett Kavanaugh. In fact, they're all in the same mold, individuals who think the Constitution should be applied as it was written, you know, a textualist. So there's no reason for those two senators to vote against Kavanaugh. In fact, listen, if we had an all-star team of nominees, he would be the starting pitcher for the team, because he has one of the most impressive resumes of any judicial nominee so far that the president's put forward.
All right, I get the feeling you like the guy, so I want to get to that and his record in just a bit.
Sure.
But first, there was a massive lobbying or PR campaign put on by people who do support Kavanaugh for this position, and possibly from the Bush camp as well. In the end, if you had to speak for the president, I know you can't, what do you think separated Kavanaugh from the other fine candidates?
You know, again, I think his credentials and his background, and the fact that he has just a very impressive list of research and publications that he's done. And what I mean by that is, look, he's been on the Court of Appeals for 12 years. He's written 300 decisions. Many decisions, including those where he was the dissenter, have been picked up and adopted by the U.S. Supreme Court when those cases got to the court. And the District of Columbia Court of Appeals is really the most important appeals court in the country. Why? Because many of the cases, particularly those filed against the government, end up in that court. So he's had more cases on more important issues than any of the other candidates.
Okay, so it's going to be a bloody battle in the Judiciary Committee, and we know Di-Fi's record, just recent record, attacking a lower court nominee over the fact that she was Catholic. Kavanaugh is Catholic, so potentially the bigots are out already. And we also know that Democrats are trying to frame this about taking away abortion in this country. They're going to frame him as someone who's going to do that, as well as taking away the fictitious right to health care in this country. They're also infusing in this debate the Heritage Foundation, Hans. Roll tape.
Yeah.
Justice Kavanaugh was picked from a list drawn up by two far right-wing special interest groups, the Federalist Society and the Heritage Foundation. These groups are dedicated to overturning women's reproductive rights.
All right, so that's the first time I've ever heard the Heritage Foundation being called a radical right-wing group, Hans.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of funny hearing that, but in fact, that tells you what the attacks are going to be.
Yep.
Look, they can't attack Kavanaugh on his professional credentials because they're so outstanding. So what they're going to do is engage in character assassination. They're going to distort his record. And they're going to tell outright lies about him. That is the standard playbook that liberals have used for almost every single nominee that's been put forward by a Republican president.
On virtually every issue, Hans, you know, if they can't win in the arena of ideas, they go to personal attacks. It's sad but true. So let's look at a couple of the decisions. On the positive side, I have a negative one I want to throw at you, but on the positive side, 2011, the lower court Heller decision, fantastic dissent on the part of Kavanaugh in favor of gun rights. Would you consider this a strict originalist kind of decision?
Oh, yeah. You know, he in his dissent talked about how the Second Amendment is an individual right to bear arms, and, you know, he would have overturned the District of Columbia law, which unfortunately the majority of the court decided to uphold.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.